Hey everyone, we're back. A little technical difficulty the first time. But I'm here with Brian, my husband and partner over here at eXp. And we thought everyone keeps asking us how we like it here and how our year has been. It's been just a little over a year since we made the change. And I thought we should talk about it together. There's no one better to talk about it than the person that's been with me for the entire year through this journey. So, hey, Brian.
Hey, how you doing, everyone? Yeah, excited to get into it.
Great. So yeah, we came back here. We came here last February, right before the pandemic hit and everything shut down. And there's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot that's happened since then. So I would say one of the best parts for us from the very beginning was that, which was a part that was really one of the things I was most worried about, was being remote and being in a cloud-based business. Before I had bricks and mortar, I was surrounded by people, and I thought that was something I was really going to miss. We got lucky that when we came over, when we did, all of that shut down for everyone. And we got to really experience what it was like being cloud-based. We did decide that we still like office space and that we like a place to go. We don't want to work from our home. But it made me really understand that that wasn't what cloud-based meant anyway. What cloud-based meant was we could work from anywhere. And we decided that we still like working from an office, and also we like working from a vacation. We like that we never have to walk into our broker's office for anything, and everything's completely streamlined. And it's been a pretty awesome experience so far.
Well, and it has. And I think the benefit with the transition was when we moved over and we had to get used to working from home. At least we had a month prior to COVID to get used to working from home, working virtually, having a virtual office. So that way, once COVID hit and everything got shut down, we were already acclimated to, remote working and virtual, as opposed to where other companies that were brick and mortar had to adjust at that time and figure out how to get everyone working from home because they couldn't be in the office. With us, at least we already had that first month to prepare on how to get used to working from home.
Right, and how to work remotely. So I think that we really knew from the beginning that we probably weren't going to be able to build our team and do everything that we needed to do on what our goals were, from our living room anyway. But like Brian said, we had come over. Of course, at first we were going to set up home offices and get to know the system and the company. So it did end up working out when we came over. So let's talk a little bit about where we were before coming over in our business. We came over just a team of three, just me and Brian and Jen, our assistant. All three of us are here together still. And it was a little bit of a scary transition, I would say. We came over, we didn't really know anyone at the company. We just had started learning about it and really understanding what it looked like. And I just saw a lot of growth opportunity here. So since then, we are now up to about 30 people with us here at eXp. And it's just been a lot. It's been a lot of different things, a lot of changes in our business. Right. So Brian came over, he just got licensed in January. So he came on the team. When did you decide to leave your corporate job? Tell me a little bit about that. You were corporate, you had always worked in insurance.
Yep. So insurance my entire life, well, since college, and it was claims, owning my own agency. And then it was August of 2019 that's when we made the decision for me to leave the corporate world and join you in real estate. And at that time, the goal was to be on the operations side, just because of my experience and my education with my master's in accounting. We knew that's where the goal was for me to be on the operations side. But then obviously, as businesses change, you got to fill in roles. And I know when shortly after that time, you had lost some buyer's agents. And then Jen, our admin now, wanted to transition from buyer's agent to admin. So at that time, we needed someone to run buyers. So that's when I got licensed and decided to jump in and handle that part of the business.
Yeah. So the goal was definitely for you to be in the operations role from the beginning. I remember that conversation. I remember how I was feeling at that time. At that time, I was just trying so hard to build a team the right way. And I was reading every book I could get my hands on and reaching out to different teams and trying to figure out what is the right way to get this done. So in 2019, I always joke that was just, I made such a mess in 2019. And I really learned a lot, and everything I tried to do didn't work the way I wanted it to. And then Brian, being my husband, it's kind of funny. I was looking for this person in my life. I had read this book, and I read a lot of books. I'd read this book called Rocket Fuel, and I read it multiple times. And in that book, it talks about the visionary and the integrator. And the visionary, they have these big visions, all these big goals they want to do, and what they want to do with their business, all of that. The problem with the visionary is it's very hard sometimes for us, that's me, that's my personality style, to get those big dreams into those small details and then get that done little by little and brick by brick. So what we end up doing is trying to skip steps, which is what I definitely did in 2019, even though I didn't realize I was doing it. So after I had kind of let go of the third assistant in a row, I even tried a virtual. So in 2019, between mid 2018 and the end of 2019, and like the end of 2019, I'd gone through 4 different admin. And I remember Brian and I were on vacation, and I was really stressed. It was the summer of 2019. I was busy. I'm selling. I have agents who depend on me. I have admin not working out. And Brian and I were in Jamaica, and I remember us talking. And I was like, you know how you organize our life, like how I want to do something, and then you kind of figure out all those steps. Like, why don't you just come join me in this business? Why don't you do that here? And he said, okay. And it was like really quick. It was like, okay. And I mean, he wasn't loving his job. I was loving my job, but I was hating it at the same time because I just didn't have the right people in place. So that's kind of how we started and how we got to now where we are. It's just so many different things. And there's so many different parts of it over the past year and a half that he's really been with me, that it's going to be almost 2 years that we've really figured out how to dial this in and get there the right way. And I wish I had done it this way sooner. So
what about talking to the steps that it took, like how we managed to grow to where we are at this point? What did you have to do on your end and on my end in order to get those right people in place? And how did eXp fit into
that? In the right environment, right? So that was really what happened. Was by the end of 2019, I realized I hadn't hit my goals, and I was looking at 2020, and I wasn't sure how I was going to get that big vision was there. That didn't change. I didn't know how I was going to get there in 2020 either, and what steps to put in place. So we just started looking around. Where are there other opportunities? How can we put ourselves in the position that we're just doing what we love and what we're great at? Because that's what I believe in. I think that everyone should be in their strength zone, doing what they love and what they're great at. What I love is working with buyers and sellers, and really sellers. Really love working with people, and sellers primarily is just where my skill set is and what I really love to do. And then agents, they're always coming to me, asking me for advice. They want to know, how to do things. So that's where I really want it to be. Brian, systems. He knows how to put systems together, hold people accountable to the systems, hold the systems accountable to what they're supposed to be doing. So when we knew that those were the things we needed to do, then we started to look at what were the other opportunities and where could we go. And I started to look at eXp. It wasn't the first time I had looked at it. In fact, I was looking at it for a year before we got here. And then we just started, as I was picking into other people's businesses and just talking to the different people here, we realized that, it might be time to make a change. There was a place that was really just on the cutting edge of the technology, the systems, the biggest teams and the most successful people that I knew, a lot of them were here. And so that was kind of really where I think the epiphany of that part of it came from. And it was scary. It was a scary change.
Oh, absolutely. But change is always scary. As long as you could see the vision and be able to kind of act on it to get to where you're going to go, and take advantage of the opportunities that we have in front of us. So, and especially here, I think we've done a lot of that between the networking, the agents that we've met. I know we have a network of people countrywide that flat out just open their playbook and say, this is how we build our business. And I think that's been a huge impact on, especially me, having to look at the system side of things where, I know there's people we could go to, people that we've met and that we network with that are doing this at a high level and have been doing it at a high level for a long time, to pick their brains in terms of, all right, what systems are you using? Like, how are you tracking all your numbers? How are you holding your teams accountable? So just having those resources available has been huge.
Right. And so what it looks like here, I don't have anything that I would say negative about my last company. I was really happy there. I thrived there. I got to be one of the top producing agents at the office that I was in. And I made a lot of friends and still have a lot of those friends today who I love and respect. The difference here was the alignment seemed a little different, where it was a very collaborative company I was at before. Here, collaboration is on a whole nother level. And I know that's a word that you hear a lot. And if you talk to anyone at this company, it's definitely a word that they're going to use as one of the main reasons why they work here. But everyone's willing to open their playbooks, like Brian said. And also because it's virtual, you build these friendships that aren't local in a different way than I had ever done before. So, and also it's really easy to collaborate with someone who's in Georgia or California or Boston. It doesn't matter if it's very different to share. We run our own businesses, right? We're independent contractors. We run our own businesses. So although I have always been open-minded and collaborative, and that's the kind of person that I am, and Brian too, most people feel a little awkward sharing all their secrets with their competition, right? When you're working with people who are nationwide, it's not competition. So it's built this just collaborative environment where I can actually go on. We have all these different pages and Workplace, which is very similar to Facebook, only just for our company. I mean, it's not just for our company, but we have a company Workplace. It looks just like Facebook. You can go on there, ask so many questions. We have a Facebook group that's for the people that we're aligned with directly with with eXp here, which are called the Honey Badgers. And we're under Jay Kinder, who owns like a national coaching company. That's our direct sponsor. He's out of Texas, well, now Puerto Rico. This company has given him the opportunity to live in Puerto Rico and just really do what he loves, which is coach and talk to agents, which is amazing. And then we just have this national network. So today I was talking about an issue that I'm having in my business, and I can't even tell you how many people responded to me about what they're doing differently and how they fixed that exact mistake. It's just a faster way to get to success instead of making the mistake on your own, which is what I was doing before. So I think, Fred, why don't we talk about some of the systems that we're talking about? We say that, but what does it mean? Like, talk about some of the stuff that we have here at eXp that is really helpful.
I mean, obviously the technology part of it, which is huge. I mean, you brought up Workplace, which is a small portion of it, but it's a way that you could literally reach anyone in no time. You could find answers to any question you have in Workplace. There's probably a Workplace group. No matter what question you have, there's probably a group about it where they talk about that. But the great benefit of Workplace is the direct access you have to everyone in your broker's office. So that's a main point where a lot of people, when they are in a brick and mortar office, it's like, all right, well, what if you have a question for your broker? Where a lot of brick and mortar offices, you may not be able to get right into your broker. You may have to send them an email, wait to get a response. Maybe the next day you can meet with them. Here, you go into Workplace and you get into the Workplace chat. You send a message to your broker, and you have an answer in minutes. So there is zero wait. Not to mention their support staff. So, being on the operations side, I handle a lot of the onboarding for the new folks coming over to eXp in our group. So I'm constantly chatting with the eXp New Jersey broker's office and their staff, especially Bonnie Jill. I bother her on a daily basis, but it's amazing that you could just go in there and ask a question and you get answered immediately. And that's just going to the Workplace. That's not even mentioning the World, where you have the eXp World, where you can go in, and it's a whole online university where you create your avatar and you could just walk into your broker's office if you want. So, if you're more comfortable with that, you could walk in to your New Jersey state office, walk right into your broker's office, sit down at his desk, and then you have a conversation just like you're talking to another human being. It's just two avatars in front of each other. But it's awesome.
That's so weird, right? It feels so weird. Like I was like, I'm not going to be an avatar, play that. I'm not a gamer. I'm not going to play a video game. And what I realize now versus what I thought about that then I was like, okay, fine. I don't really need that world thing. But I still believe the people here are going to be collaborative with me. They're going to share. That was the goal that I had. I was like, I just need to be around people who are going to help me get to my business to where we're selling hundreds and hundreds of even thousands of homes a year. If that's what we wanted. And people like that were here. The funny thing about the world, though, is that it does look weird at first. It's so efficient. Efficient is one of my favorite words. The level of efficiency, right? So yes, you are an avatar and you walk into your broker's office who's also an avatar, and I can talk to you immediately. I will tell you that I did not have that opportunity before. right? Because I can walk into my broker's office while I'm sitting on the beach, or while I'm sitting in my office, or while I'm sitting in my car waiting for an appointment, and he might be at the beach or in his house, or I don't know where. It doesn't matter because we are wherever we are, because it's cloud-based. We can work from anywhere. It's not physical. So that's the part of the world that's so interesting. And you can jump right on over to accounting without even walking. Like there's no way anyone at any other company is going to beat us to get into their broker. Like if we were
absolutely not.
right now,
and you talk really any issue. So another big one that people will run into, especially nowadays, is technology keeps advancing. There's a lot of companies that are rolling out, CRM systems, and they may have problems, and you don't know exactly who to go to if you're having an issue. But with eXp, there's a tech department in the world that you could literally just walk right into and immediately just sit down right at the tech person's desk, and whatever question, whether it's SkySlope, it's any of the eXp systems. If you're having any kind of technical issues, you walk right into the tech department, sit down at someone's desk, and you get your question answered. They'll walk you right through it.
Share with you, so they're showing you how to do it in real time as you're sitting there. I mean, it's unbelievable. And you're talking to someone who, Brian's going to laugh, like, who is not the most tech savvy person. Like, I'm really not. I can use the systems I need to use, but I'm not a technology based agent. So we hear that a lot. I'll hear people say like, oh no, it sounds great, but I'm just not techie. Trust me, I'm not techie. Like, this is just more efficient. They're going to actually show me step by step, which someone who's not techie like me, when they're showing you that way, it clicks faster, right? It's in real time. And if you do go to the wrong person, this has happened to me too. I go to accounting, but it really wasn't a question for accounting. It was maybe a question for the Teams department. And there's a whole department on Teams and how you structure them. And they'll just send you over there. Like I could go on and on and on about the efficiency of how we do things here. And we've never met any of these people in person. I feel like I know my broker. I do know my broker. I have never been physically in the same room as him. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we haven't really been in the same room as a lot of people right now this year. So there is events that they would normally have. They don't now. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about how just the efficiency of it. It's pretty amazing.
Yep. And then not to mention the training in the world where you have over 50 hours a week of live training. Everything training for new agents that are brand new to the business, just getting up and running, to the highest levels. Trainings, your icon series and things like that, where, they're going to dive into a lot more of the really fine tuning and get into the nuts and bolts of whether it's lead gen or, business planning. You have all those courses for the high-end agents, for them to be able to have a resource to go to learn if they have a question on their business. Most likely, if you have any kind of question in your business, there's going to be a class in the world that they're going to teach.
That's pretty amazing too. The coolest part about that is that when you're in another brokerage, even if it's a national brokerage, you're mostly going to learn from the people in that specific office, because that's the way it's done. It's done in person. You're learning, and it's not that there's not great people in these offices. There are, and you may even, if you're lucky, get an agent from another office close by that would come teach you a class. Here, you're only learning from top producing agents, and you're learning the skills from ones who are skilled in a specific topic. So eXp makes sure that they want us to have success, and they want agents to be trained by agents who've had the most success. And there's an incentive. Everything here is incentivized, right? So full disclosure, it's 80-20 split, right? You're going to keep 80% of your commission. You're going to give 20% of your commission to eXp until you cap at $16,000, right? That's very similar to the KW model, which is where we came from. You pay a specific amount, and once you pay that, you're done paying them. That's awesome. And then after that, here's the cool part. After that, you are going to pay a transaction fee. After you cap, a small transaction fee, which is better than paying royalty, which we did pay before. You're going to pay a small transaction fee of $250 until you pay them. It's 20 more. It's $5,000.
So 20 transactions.
So it's 20 transactions. And once you do that, if you're a top producing agent, you're going to do that every year. Once you do that, then you have the opportunity to get $16,000 back in publicly traded stock. If I could show you what that stock has done for us just in 1 year, I mean, it's given us freedom to do things with our business that we maybe wouldn't have been able to do before, because we know we have that cushion. We know that we have that support, and it's amazing. So the reason I started talking about that while we were talking about education was I was talking about the win-win. So I'm going to hit that production every year. It's going to take me a few months to do it. But and they're going to give me $8,000 of my $16,000 cap back for hitting that production. Well, guess what? I can earn the other $8,000 too. They're going to give me the whole $16,000, but the first $8,000 I'm going to earn by production, and the second $8,000 I'm going to learn in a cultural way. So $4,000 of it is me being willing to educate myself. So I already went to every national and regional event at KW anyway, and I would do it here because we are education based. We're a learning based company, a learning based culture, which is why we're here and why we're all aligned anyway. But I'm going to earn $4,000 of that back by going to eXpCon and they shareholders event. I would go anyway, but now I'm incentivized to go. So now it doesn't feel like I'm taking time away from my business, or should I really spend these 2 days when I really could spend these days getting more listings? Well, now I'm able to do that, so I'm going to do it, right? The other $4,000 I'm going to earn by giving back culturally back to the company, either teaching classes in the world, being on panels, being part of the committee. So then I'm incentivized to then give back to the company, and it's not free. It's not just expected. It's not like, here, Mary, here's an award, and we want to tell you that you're awesome and we love you. Can you please donate your time? I'm not donating my time now. It's a win-win. And that's the part about the classes that I wanted to get to. So all these classes are being trained by people like me who are already successful in the business. And I'm only training on things that I feel pretty confident about training. And I go in and learn from people who are steps and levels above me as well. And it's amazing. And it's all day. I heard an agent talk before about how they wanted to start, doing better with farming. I literally went on there, and there was a farming class in the next couple of days where someone was going to teach them that. It's pretty awesome to be able to tap into all that.
It is. I mean, yeah, the resources are endless. And that's just the training in the world, not to mention the training we have within our group, within the Honey Badger group, who are, again, the people who started the Honey Badger group were some of the top performing agents in the world. When you talk about guys like Jay Kinder, Michael Reese, Al Stasic, and then guys in that group, Dan Beer, you're looking at top high end producers, top 1%, and
like 500 plus houses a year.
Yeah. And the training that you get in those, between the lives that they do, the interviews they do with other top performing agents, and just the value you get through all that. Not to mention the additional training just for being part of that group that we get through NAEA, which was their training company, the National Association of Expert Advisors. So now we get access to all that training. So all those things are just incredible resources.
And do we pay for that? Like, we pay a lot of money for all that? Because I know before I used to pay $400, $800, $600. It depends. I paid a lot of money for each training that I went to.
No, not here. We have access to it, again, because we're all aligned. We're all true actual partners. So we want to share. We want everyone to grow, and that's the way we do it. Now, in terms of getting to the growth, I mean, why don't you talk then about where our business is going, what we've done in our first year in 2020 to what we're on pace for this year, and how our team's grown.
Great. I would love to. So in 2019, Brian wasn't with me yet. I'd sold 71 houses for about, I think it was just under 16 million. That was 2019, and it was a mess. I went through 4 assistants. It was a mess. 2020, I wanted to do it better. I wanted to figure out, I knew what was wrong. The foundation was wrong. So in 2020, that's what we did. We were focused on the foundation of the business. I wasn't bringing agents on. I wasn't going to do anything until I felt like we had a solid footing, that we were building it on the foundation that would last. And Brian was with me in deciding that. And we have the right coach. So we have a coach through NAEA. John Kitchens has been, every single person in this company has been so integral in helping us get where we're getting, because we're just watching them, and I can text them and they respond. They'll jump on a call. It's crazy. So 2020 was about the same production as 2019. We did more volume, almost the same amount of units. And I think we did 17 million in 2019. Mm-hmm. Right. And that was 3 of us. That was me.
And that was just me, you, and Jen, because again, we were working on building it.
We're just working on building it, getting it done the right way. I was almost fully focused on sellers. I worked a few buyers. Brian, being the integrator, the operations-minded person that he is, he jumped in to fill in where he needed to fill in. and also to learn all aspects of the business. So I was really proud of him. He jumped in, he really helped on the buyer sales and helped me take on some of that load myself. I got my broker's license in 2020 because we did realize that we couldn't build it at home. That wasn't going to work for us personally. And the value here is that they really let you run your business the way you want to run your business. So there's guidelines, there's training, there's help, there's all these different things. But if you want to work from an office, fantastic, go ahead. They don't provide that. That's not part of something that you have to pay if you're an agent who wants to work from home. If you're an agent that wants to work from an office, then you can go and get your own office and build a branch office and share that with people if that's what you want to do. The cool part is that the other agents who don't find that value don't have to pay for it. So that's awesome. So got my broker's license, opened our branch office, went from a team of 3 to a team of 11, right? So there's 11 of us now. And then, or 10.
11.
Sorry, he's a numbers guy, not me. And then within our office, there's 30. So that was from 3 to 30 in a year. I feel pretty proud of that. And our team is on track now to more than double what we did in 2020. So from 2019 to 2021, it'll be double the business. Our goal is 150 homes this year for around 37 million. And we're on track. We'll do it. We'll do it. And we're all in this place where we love. And now we are able to then add this value to agents on our team, which we're still looking for agents on our team. So if you're a hungry agent looking to plug in where the systems are already there and the admin's already there and the onboarding and the CRM and the leads and all that stuff is there, that's what we made sure we built the right way. And we did it by aligning ourselves with the right people. That's why we're at eXp. eXp is just the company that brokers our business. That's really what it is. And this was just the way for us to do it the best and make us be surrounded by the best people.
And also help us partner with people. So not just on our team, like you said, we're looking for people on our team, but anyone who joins with us, like we are going to literally share everything that we've learned to help them grow their businesses. From the different trainings we did. We just started just this past Wednesday, our quarterly mastermind, where we're going to sit down with our entire group and go over business and set our quarterly goals for everyone to keep that accountability with our entire group, not just our team, that's everyone.
Right.
And then the other trainings that we do for the group. It's just additional ways to keep the group energized, keep them collaborative, keep everyone, accountable, just so that not only our team is going to grow, but the teams that we're aligned with are also going to grow. The solo agents are going to grow. And then because of this model, we want to give back in that way. It promotes us to want to provide that knowledge and share what we've done to help them grow.
It's a win-win because there is a financial incentive, right? There is an alignment there. So how you join eXp is only by agent to agent sponsorship, right? So there is no sales leader, there is no team leader, there's no recruiter. That's not what there is. Someone doesn't buy a region and then sell off the offices like a franchise. That's not how it looks. All it is now is that there's an owner and there's agents, and they've cut out that whole middle section. And the value is that if you're in this business, you're a social being. You want to be surrounded by other like-minded people. You want to collaborate. So it's given us an opportunity to give back, to want to give back, and to find people who are like us, who also want to be around us. I can't tell you how many calls I've gotten where it's like, Mary, can you help me with this? Or, Mary, I don't know a lot about eXp, but I trust you and I'm not happy where I am. So I know that you've done your research. I trust you because you're trustworthy, and that really does happen. So I'm going to come over, and they know that I'm going to give them everything we have. So when Brian says we're giving back, like by doing these quarterly masterminds, we're lucky that we're in a position that we can fly around the country to be around the top minds, to learn from the best. And then the benefit is we can bring that back here to South Jersey. And it's like, here, this is what we just got. I want to give it all to you here. You can have it. Like, this is what we learned. This is how we're building our business. These are the mistakes we made. These are the mistakes that this person who's already selling 600 homes a year made and told us not to do. Now we can share that with you. It's just beautiful. It's really a great model in order to do that.
And I know you brought up, that it's all agent sponsorship and there's no recruiters. I know, everyone wants to say that eXp agents are just recruiters. But at every company, no matter where you are, the driving force of any business is people. Mm-hmm. So they're getting people somewhere. So no matter what company, what industry you're in, they're recruiting. So if you just look at real estate, like those companies are all recruiting. It just depends who's doing it, who's getting paid. So whoever is the one recruiting agents to those brokerages are the ones getting paid. So if you're a team leader, you're a broker owner, a franchise owner, you're bringing agents in, they're getting paid. The other agents aren't, but they are. So eXp just cut those people out and just said, we want to give that to our agents. Like, we don't want to just, make a broker owner rich. Like, we want our agents to all succeed in this and all benefit, because by doing that, it incentivizes all the agents to work together and grow together. And that's the beautiful thing.
So talk about it on the team aspect then, because that was one of the main things that attracted me to it. I'll tell you, what I heard before coming over was eXp agents were a bunch of recruiters that didn't sell houses. And then that's what I would hear. That was the myths that were being fed to me so that I wouldn't look.
But now we see every top agent all over the country coming over every day.
The whole goal from the other companies too were like, don't look over there. Just stay here and keep looking here. And over there, all they do is recruit. No one sells any houses over there. But then you start to look like, wait, well, that's not true. That guy sells a lot of houses. So is that one? Why'd she go over there? Why'd that whole brokerage just move over there? But either way, the team building here, that's what really attracted me. So besides the alignment, it was like, we all know you build this team, you grab a new agent, you pour into them, you teach them everything you know, you show them all your systems, you show them all the ropes. And some of them sometimes decide, well, okay, great. I want to go and do that on my own then. And they should sometimes. Some agents should stay in. We've already built it. Why go and recreate the wheel yourself? Stay here in our organization. And some will stay and just be part of that. And some will be like, I want to go build my own organization. And as a team leader, when that happens, it burns sometimes because you're like, well, I just poured so much into them. I shared them everything. And now I just created my competition. Well, here, they make it so you want to help them build, right? So if they want to grow off of your team and they want to go build their own team, well, we're still going to be financially aligned. We're still going to be aligned with each other and incentivized to help each other. So great. If you want to go build it, I'm going to give you my playbook. And that's why they're giving us their playbook now here. And it's just like, and whether you're aligned in the same group or not, because you can't be aligned with everybody, it's just built this entire culture around collaboration that's just how everybody is. And you can't really feel it unless you're here. And I didn't really totally expect it the way that I've experienced it. And it just keeps getting better. And, we're not even really trying to sell it. You might be happy where you are. If you're not, though, this is the real deal. It's not a bunch of recruiters just that aren't selling houses. That's not what it looks like. It is 500 unit, 300 unit, 200 million,
500 million
brokerages coming over. What?
I said 500 million.
500 million. We were in a room with $500 million in real estate.
Yep.
Like, I don't even know what that was in 1 year. That's what it looks like for real.
And the thing with eXp too, in terms of building the team, because everyone, especially if you're an agent looking, if you're trying to build a team or you tried, it didn't work, you put the wrong people in place. eXp, because everyone's willing to open up their playbooks, like Mary and I have said, we've learned from some of the top in the country, and they've opened up a plan and said, this is how we did it. So it alleviates a lot of the issues you may run into because you already know what those issues are because you learn from people that have been through it. Mm-hmm. So it just helps you be able to build that team the correct way, really the first time, without having to make mistakes and go through 4 assistants and things like that. Just because, again, just the collaboration and just how open everyone is to share their business.
And let's be real, I wasn't winging it before, right? Like I wasn't just winging it and building a team. It wasn't like that before. Yeah. I had a book that was the Bible of real estate that I was going to follow step by step by step. And I did, and it didn't work for me. And the difference here is that it isn't one way. There's so many different ways to do it. And there's so many different ways to build a team, and your expectations on your team are different for each person. So it's just been better. So just to really sum it up, we love it here because of who we're aligned with, of the collaboration and the ease and convenience and efficiency of how we can run our business here. I never have to go into a broker's office and ask a question. I never have to bring paperwork to anybody. In fact, I don't even if I go to a closing, which is rare, especially now, I don't have to bring anything with me or bring anything back. Everything's emailed, direct deposit, next day. It's pretty amazing. It's completely alleviated any of that real paperwork. It's very systematized. And also the compliance is better as well. So we all want to be compliant. Sometimes as salespeople, we don't 100% know. In fact, my signs before weren't exactly the way they were supposed to be, and I didn't know that. I literally didn't realize, and it wasn't bad, but like I realized now, I'm like, oh wow, maybe that should have been a little smaller. I should, whatever it was. Now here, there's a checklist for everything. You couldn't run a business on a scale like this, like it's like an Amazon or real estate without that. So the compliance is there, the checklist, all of that. SkySlope, DocuSign, DigiSign, the world. I'm probably missing workplace.
But then with the compliance, just to let people know too, because a lot of people kind of hear that and just think that you can't market yourself. Like you have to, there's strict guidelines but it's not. So with eXp, as long as you're state compliant, meaning your eXp logo has to be more prominent than your team logo, or the office number has to be more prominent than the cell phone number.
That's New Jersey.
That's the New Jersey rule that every brokerage has to follow. Other than that, they really let you do whatever you want. You can market yourself and brand yourself way more than any other company because all they really care about is that you're following the state guidelines for compliance.
Right. And of course,
their colors.
It's what?
I meant outside of, you have to keep the eXp logo to their specific logo that they have. You can't change their logo.
But yours can be bigger.
Yours can be whatever it wants. It can be any color it wants.
The team logo is gigantic and the eXp one's really little. We can change our colors. Like we can really brand ourselves here. That's what they want. They want us to brand ourselves. And that was what I was looking for. I knew I was on teams before. So any of you that know me know that I've been on teams. I knew that I wanted to, if I ever left somewhere, I wanted to be able to pick it up and move it. So we have our own email domain, we have our logo, all of that stuff. If we decide tomorrow that we just want to be the Murphy Group brokerage, all we would really have to do is just take that eXp away because we kind of already built it on our own and our logo is different and everything. So it's pretty amazing. So anyway, those are all the systems. That was one good thing. The capping structure, I knew I couldn't go anywhere that I wouldn't cap. If you know that you're building a big business and you're in a company where you can't cap, you have to pay them no matter how much, do the math. Do the math on that because it's really expensive because we didn't only look at eXp. I looked at a lot of different brokerages and a lot of different models and there was ones that I really liked. And when I ran the numbers and when I did the math, I realized that I really couldn't afford to bring my business there. And I definitely wouldn't be able to 5 years from now or 2 years from now or 3 years from now. It just would be too expensive in a structure that way. The icon is amazing. There's just, I mean, I get all of the money I pay back in stock and the stock has been going up and stocks go up, they go down. Either way, even if it goes
free money
down, it's still free money. It's more money than I ever would have made.
Yep.
The revenue share. If I attract an agent, meaning that one of my friends wants to come and work closely with me, one of my friends or Brian, one of our friends is like, or someone we want to be friends with, hey, we would love to partner with you and be part of this. We actually get paid for that. And I would have done that for free. I was doing it for free before. And the access that we just have for people. Those are, I guess, the benefits. I'm trying to think. I thought there was another one, but.
And I just want to go back to the stock for a second, because I know this is another point, because other companies will tell you things to try to discourage you from looking at other models, right? And they do that in businesses all over, not just real estate. But one of the things they always say is, oh, well, you get eXp stock, but you can't touch it for 3 years. No, but there's not one company you go work to that gifts you stock and lets you take it out immediately. There's a vesting period. So whether it's a pension plan or a company, if you go work for Amazon and they're going to say, all right, you work for us, we're going to give you 1,000 shares of Amazon stock. You can't quit tomorrow and take that with you. There's going to be a vesting period anywhere you go. So that's no different than anywhere. So no matter what company you're going to get awarded stock at, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to vest. You're going to have to put your time into the company. So that's no different than anywhere else. Now, 3 years is actually a lot less. I mean, I know a company that when I was in the corporate world, I didn't get to touch. I didn't get access to any of the pension or any of the stock options we had until after 5 years. So this is 3 years vesting period for the stock that you're gifted. Now, you also are able to purchase stock. You could go 5% of your commission and purchase stock at a 10% discount. Now, with the stock that you purchase at a discount, that you can take out anytime. So when you go and you purchase stock, you immediately make a 10% return on it because you get it at a discount. You can cash that out the next day if you want to. So that you do have access to immediately. It's just the the gifted stock, the awarded stock that has to vest just like it would in any other business, in any other company, anywhere.
Right. So, right. And so we have a state broker. So the stock is one thing. You can't invest it for 3 years. That's fine. We're not going to be out of the business in 3 years. We're going to put as much of that in there as we possibly can. We'll icon every single year and get that back. It's amazing. That wouldn't have happened anywhere else, right? Anywhere else, I was still in a capping model. I was going to pay that office and I wasn't going to ever get any of that money back. So that's just a beautiful thing. And then the branding is great. So I was trying to think of just to wrap this up, all the benefits: stock, revenue share,
health insurance,
health insurance,
which is a massive savings. I mean, it cut our premiums in half. I mean, we save almost, over 50% actually from what our benefits were on the open market to our benefits that we get through eXp. It cut it huge.
Yeah.
So we can't miss that one, because a lot of real estate agents who are doing this full time, they have to purchase health insurance for their families, and anyone who had to shop on the open market knows how expensive it is. eXp will cut your premiums probably in half, because it did for us. It did for other people.
When we put
it's a better plan than we had before.
Saving money, and it was better than what we had before. And we're not talking about a health share plan or anything like that. Like, this is real legit health insurance, which we as salespeople don't always have the opportunity to have. Or like Brian and I, we have a family, so we had to pay a lot of money for it. So that was another really big one that I didn't even think of coming over. I mean, I'd heard about it, but it wasn't the reason that I came over. So yeah, and then now we have an office. So you have a state broker, and we have three. We have 3 state brokers and an entire broker team that we can talk to. And they're out of Montclair. We don't actually really see them. That's all virtual. And then we have our own branch office in Marlton, which is where we like to work. And that's the address that we can use. So we're here on Maple. We're happy here. And yeah,
it's just been an amazing year. There's not one thing that I found that I thought was better anywhere else, because it's just been absolutely an incredible experience.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions, we just wanted to kind of tell you, I didn't want to ever really talk about I have talked about it. You've seen me come live before. I haven't brought Brian, and he's an integral part of our business. I mean, he does the whole back end. He's the reason why we can more than double our business in a year. Without him, I could not have done it. It's so funny. I was looking for someone like him to put all the pieces in place, and didn't even realize I was already married to him. But so shame on me for not figuring that part out sooner. So Tanya, thank you for everything that you do to get our business up and running. And really thank you to eXp. And I wanted to wait till we were really a year in, so we really had experienced everything and learned everything. We're still learning more every day, but I feel like we have a good hold on it now. If you're looking at it, if you're curious, call us. I mean, I'm an open book anyway. I'm happy to help you. Brian too. And if you're happy where you are, you still just want to collaborate, we're happy to do that too.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Perfect. All right. I think that's about it. You have anything else?
Nope. And we'll be back on.
All right. So we'll talk.
PM. We're here.
All right. Thanks a lot, everyone. Have a good day.